Almost half of the species in the United States that are in risk of extinction are endangered because of the effects of introducing invasive species. An invasive species is defined as an organism that could be a plant, an animal, fungus, or bacterium that is not native and has negative effects on our economy, our environment, our health, etc. Also, we need to notice that not all introduced species are invasive, but the human action is the primary factor of the introduction of invasive species.
Invasive species can cause great economic and environmental harm to the new area. When we introduce a species in other ecosystem, it can alter the whole food chain, since it can eat the food that other species were eating or eat up other species, and this way alter the whole food chain established in every ecosystem. Many invasive species are introduced into a new region accidentally. Zebra mussels are native to the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea in Central Asia. Zebra mussels arrive in the Great Lakes of North America accidentally. Stock to large ships that travel between the two regions. There are now so many zebra mussels in the Great Lakes that they have threatened native species.
The kudzu is an invasive species also known as a Myo-minute vine and the vine that ate the South. The kudzu vine is native to Japan, but was first brought to the United States in 1876 when it was featured at the Philadelphia Centennial Exposition as a hardy, fast-growing vine that could help inhibit soil erosion. What they failed to mention at the exposition was just how fast they meant when they said kudzu was fast-growing. Since its introduction, kudzu has been spreading across the U.S. at a rate as fast as 150,000 acres annually, due primarily to the fact that its individual vines can grow upwards of a foot per day in the right conditions.
The Asian carp is a very recent example of an invasive species. Asian carp are fast-growing, aggressive, and adaptable fish that are outcompeting native fish species for food and habitat in much of the mid-section of the United States. During the early 1970s, aquaculture managers imported these species for biological control of algae, plants, and snails in their ponds. Subsequent flooding events in the southern U.S. allowed the species to escape the ponds and enter the Mississippi River system, finding themselves in an ideal aquatic habitat free of any natural predators. They are voracious eaters, able to consume 5 to 20% of their body weight each day, leaving far less of the microscopic plant and animal life to support native fishes. The destruction and loss of aquatic vegetation also leaves native juvenile fishes without adequate cover from predators and reduces possible spawning habitats.
Here we have 5 urgent measures to minimize the introduction of invasive exotic species to a not-belonging region. A prevention implemented by different countries is the creation of a Center for Alert and Control of Invasive Exotic Species, centralizing all information and actions to detect and control invasive exotic species. Prohibit trade and ownership of exotic species as pets. Prohibit the construction and close the existing farms of exotic invasive species breeding. Strict control of the entry of all merchandise susceptible to introduction of exotic species to not belonging areas by increasing surveillance. Regulation and control of ballast water transport. More than 100,000 tons of ballast water is transported annually by ships worldwide. It contains a species that is spread to other habitats.
In ecology, a food web describes the feeding connections between organisms in a biotic community. Both energy and nutrients flow through a food web, moving through organisms as the air consumed by an organism above them in the food web. A single path of energy through a food web is called food chain. This food web shows the interactions between organisms across trophic levels in the Lake Ontario ecosystem. Primary producers are outlined in green, primary consumers in orange, secondary consumers in blue, and apex consumers in purple. The opossum shrimp eats both primary producers and primary consumers. It's therefore both a primary consumer and a secondary consumer. These are the trophic levels of a food chain in Lake Ontario. Energy and nutrients flow from a photosynthetic green algae at the bottom of the solvent at the top of the food chain. This is 4 links in this chain because significant energy is lost between each successive trophic level. The relative energy in trophic levels in Silver Springs, Florida, an ecosystem is shown. Each trophic level has less energy available and supports fewer organisms at the next level.